Hello, good afternoon, our dear friends in our webpage, Georgia to Study. Today, we decided to be with you online for our first time, as because of the situation of coronavirus. I hope it will be finished very soon, and wishing you all the best. Today I will introduce a little bit about our organization. Our organization is an educational consultant and scientific services as well. It's called El Yemeni Organization. Our organization is already one of the Georgian organizations that is working in the field of education. Our organization called El Yemeni. Our location is in Tbilisi city, the capital of Georgia. And as we used in the past just to travel to some countries to deliver our workshops regarding studying abroad, but for such a situation these days, it's difficult to move around, so we decided to deliver our information online to you direct through our webpage. Last year we were in India. We were in Kerala, Cochin, Ernakulam. We did a very good seminar and a very good workshops for our friends and our candidates in India. Also, we were in Ghana, in Kumasi, and Accra. We did already also some workshops. We were in Nigeria, in Abuja and Akwa Ibom states. Hope that everything will be fine with all of you. Today, we will be with you for some time just to explain and to share with you some ideas about studying abroad. As we know, and all of you know very well, that the decision of studying abroad is a little bit difficult decision for many parents and for many families. So today we want to explain or to share with you the ideas upon selection of the university, of the countries that you are gonna travel to study. The most important thing is, whenever we are talking about studying abroad or to leave your country to study away from your family, away from your country, it is a hard decision, all of us know very well. But before taking decision, and before traveling, you should know very well what you are gonna do. I mean that to talk about studying abroad, it means that we should know first of all 4 parameters in which these parameters are very important to start with upon the selection of your university and the countries that you are gonna visit to study. The main 4 parameters that we have to take in our consideration is, I will just list the 4 parameters, and later I will talk individually regarding or about each parameter. I'm sorry. So we are gonna discuss in details about 4 parameters, which is very important to know before taking the decision of moving out of your country. First of all, you should know very well the accreditation of the university that you are gonna join. Second, the tuition fees of the university which will be accepted and which will be okay for your parents and for the budget of your parents or not. Number 3, the safety of the country which you are gonna stay to study. And last thing is the monthly expenses that you are gonna spend per month. These 4 parameters are very important to know before taking the decision. Also, with whom you are gonna travel, who will guide you to travel, like that, and the availability of connection all the time with the one who is gonna, accompany you to travel. First of all, we are gonna talk about the accreditation of the university. As in Al-Yamani organization, as we are a Georgian company, we already contracted with I think most of the universities in Georgia. We have governmental or public universities. We have as well private universities. Most of the universities or all the universities already accredited in the Georgia as a country, and also they have internationally accreditation. I mean that once you finished or you get your diploma or your degrees, it will be easy for you to continue your studying out of the country or even to work away from your country with the official and recognized degree in most of European countries. Also, as I said that in Georgia we have some governmental universities which are running courses of medicine in English and dentistry also. Some others are private universities. They are running also the same courses in English language. Moreover, we have also economics courses, we have aviation courses, we have business administration courses, we have nursing courses as well. It depends from one university to another according to the accreditation of the university and also the affiliation with some other universities out of Georgia. I mean internationally affiliation with some other universities, and also the tuition fees. For example, when we are talking about one of the leading governmental university in Georgia, which we are dealing with, this university is officially accredited out of Georgia in many countries. For example, in India, all our universities that we are dealing with, all of them already listed in MCI list, Medical Council of India. All of them, they are already listed. Also, the governmental universities already listed officially in some Arabian countries like Egypt, like Lebanon, like Jordan, like Tunisia, Morocco. Also in some other African countries like Nigeria, like Cameroon, Zambia, South Africa, some Asian countries also like Sri Lanka. So I mean that the governmental universities as well as private universities, most of them already listed in a lot of Ministry of Education lists out of Georgia in many different countries. So this is about the accreditation or regarding the accreditation of the university. And later on in our next videos, we are gonna explain well about individual universities as well. We will select each university like that in the list, and they will talk about to give you more options just to select whatever you like. Number two, the tuition fees of the university. First, I'm talking in general. Later on, I will gonna focus on Georgia as a country and the university. But this is, parameters we have to talk in general, whatever the country is you are gonna travel or the university. Tuition fees also of the university, which is very important for you as your parents are gonna, arrange a budget for your studying, for the duration of studying, which can be like, for example, for general medicine course, it will be like 6 years of studying, 12 semesters. For dentistry, it will be 5 years, 10 semesters. It will be for pharmacy, 4 years of studying, 8 semesters. So such budget also, it will make stress for your parents. So whenever you are sure about the accreditation of the university, second or next step you have to think about is the tuition fees of the university. Is it okay or not for your budget and your parents' budget? Here in Georgia, we are talking about the fees of the universities. We have some universities that we are dealing with. For example, for general medicine course, we have some universities starting in general, the general medicine course starting or ranging here in Georgia from $4,000 till $6,000 a year. I mean that, the fees of the year or academic year in some universities starting from $4,000 per year, in some others $4,800, in some other universities $5,500, and the highest tuition fees is $6,000 per year. So this is the fees of the university. So you can study general medicine starting from $4,000 a year in one of the also oldest private universities in Georgia, which is already like more than around 25 years, running the courses nowadays. So this is the tuition fees, which is also very important to be taken in consideration. Number three, the third parameters we are going to talk about is the safety of the country and the safety of the place in which you are going to travel to study. I hope that all of you will go through Georgia website as a country, Tbilisi as a city, or they have some other cities also. And one of the most important things you have to know is that Georgia is one of the leading countries for tourism. Every year, millions of tourists are visiting Georgia for relaxation, for enjoyment, as they have a lot of very nice places for tourism, like waterfalls, like mountains, Caucasian mountains. They have like all the castles, all the churches, historically places. So Georgia as a country is one of the leading country to visit, or what I mean is that most of the income for Georgia as a country is coming from tourism and also agriculture, as we will see now from the monthly expenses for food and for accommodation. It is fairly, good enough, I mean, for a person to live. And one of your information that also I want to deliver, that during the Soviet Union time, Georgia was the place to export agricultural crops for all the Soviet Union countries. So Georgia is famous, in agriculture. They have very good, crops, vegetables, fruits, and so on. As a place to live for a long time, Georgia is one of the best now places all over the world, one of the most safest places all over the world, even for investment. A lot of people nowadays, they are focusing in Georgia to make investment as well. Number 4, or the fourth parameter that you have to know very well, the monthly expenses. I mean, how much you are going to spend per month, because also not only the tuition fees will be a headache for your parents, but also the monthly expenses. I mean, how much you are going to spend per month, which is also very important to your parents as a budget for them. If we are going to talk about the currency of Georgia, Georgia currency is called Georgian lari. $1 nowadays is equivalent to approximately 2.85 lari. 2.85 lari equivalent to $1 US. And I'm going to give you just short information about life in Georgia. For example, if you are gonna stay for a long time to study in Georgia, and as most of the universities, some of them they have hostels to stay, some others they will give you option to whatever, to rent an apartment away from the hostel, so you have some options. For example, if you want to rent a flat in the city, which is called the capital of Georgia, which is called Tbilisi, it depends on the rent. The amount of rent depends on the size of the flat, the size area of the flat, and the location of the flat, away from the center or near to the center. So, as an example, you can rent a flat or the rent budget starting from $150 to $400 per month for a flat. It depends, as I said, size, area. Some flats you can stay alone, which will be very small in area size. Some other flats you can share a partner with you. Some other flats can be for 3 persons or for 4 persons. So it depends on the size, area of the flat. Also, it depends on the location of the flat. Is it near the center or away from the center? So monthly expenses, I think approximately with in between $200 to $300, you can live in a good situation in Georgia as a place. Also, transportation in Georgia. Transportation is not so expensive compared with some other countries in Europe. For example, if you want to take a private cab or a private taxi, it depends on the distance, which can be starting from 2 laris till 8 laris or 10 laris for a very long distance like that. So it's also they have underground metro. They have a lot of metro stations. They have also private, as I said, cabs, and they have at the same time public buses, which is very cheap to travel with along the city. Although the city has a lot of restaurants, a lot of coffee shops as a tourism place, as I said before. You have different cuisines. I mean, you will have Arabian food there a lot. You have Asian food. You will have whatever European food, any style of food you will find in Georgia. As Georgia is, also they are, Georgia as a country famous also in, they have a very good, kitchen. Georgian kitchen is very delicious, items are there, which is already recommended by a lot of tourists who are coming to visit Georgia. So these 4 parameters, as I said, and later on I'm gonna talk in details. So these 4 parameters, which is accreditation of the university, the tuition fees of the university, the safety of the country that you are gonna stay, also the monthly expenses. This is the 4 parameters which you should know very well, before thinking even to travel away from your country and away from your parents. Later on, I am gonna talk in details regarding each parameter. Also, I want to share with you today that, just to give you an idea, because as I said, we will not have, I think, a big chance this year to travel, around to deliver our workshops as we used every year due to the situation of the coronavirus. But also I want to share with you some of our, documents, just to be sure with whom or for whom you are, listening this video. For us, as I said, we are a Georgian company. This is our, license in Georgia, which is in Georgian language. This is, Al-Yamani organization as a Georgian company. Also, we used, whenever we are, dealing with some candidates from other countries, we used to legalize our document and to establish a branch of our company in such countries. For example, for India, we already registered our company under the same name, Al-Yamani organization, and this is the LLB of our company in India, Al-Yamani organization. This is Al-Yamani organization in India. Yes, so we have also our Indian branch, which is in Kolkata. We have our staff there who are going to help the candidates regarding the admission, which will be open soon after the NEET exam. Wishing you all the best in India to pass the NEET exam with good score and will be able to join whatever you like. We know very well that the NEET exam is already will be late on July or on August. So wishing you all the best to pass the NEET exam. Because as you know, one of the most important requirements for Indian students to travel out of the country to study, especially medicine and pharmacy or dentistry, you should pass the NEET exam. Also, this is our, as I said, this is our LLB in India. This is also our taxes card in India. Here also. Also our company registration also in India. So I want to let you be sure enough that we are, we are not an unknown persons. We already dealing in such a field of education long time ago, more than 20 years. And we have a lot of candidates who already graduated from different universities, and nowadays they are practicing their own life as a physicians or as a dentist or as a pharmacist or as engineers. So this is regarding the document. Also regarding the, as I told you before, we already contracted and represent most of the Georgian universities in a very official manner. This is some of the contracts with some different some of the contracts here and here also. We have a lot of universities that were already contracted with. This is all our Georgian universities that we are representing in the most official manner. I mean that because to deal with the students, it's a little bit hard work, as we have to make them incentive to select for them a highly accredited university with acceptable tuition fees, and so because of that, as I said, thanks God we have a good reputation in such a duration of time, which more than 20 years nowadays in such field. Nowadays also, what I want to tell you that for the next academic year, which is 2020-2021, the admission process already in Georgia is open. So they are nowadays accepting applications, but I think for those who didn't up till now finish their high school exams, and for example in India NEET exams, so it will take a little bit time till August to start thinking, or to start to share the parents to select the place where they are gonna complete their higher education. In Georgia also they have two falls for admission. We have fall, which is semester which will be started on September or maximum October, and another admission which will be on March, 1st of March. Also the admission will be start late in January or February. So they have 2 times per year for admission in Georgia, which is little bit different than some other countries, which is give more facilities for the candidates who already will lose the chance to join the September or October semester to be able to join the March semester. So we have 2 times per year for admission. And as experienced organization, we have authority from the universities, from some universities, that the admission of Georgia, I will talk in details later on, and what is the requirements and so. But upon submitting or upon submission of your documents, and after checking your passport copy, your high school certificate, whatever it is, general certificate in your country, or for example IGSC system, which is British system, which is belong to the British Council, or the American High School Diploma Program. Upon receiving such documents, it will be applied or submitted to the university. Then after checking from the university and the Ministry of Education in Georgia side, they will decide and approve your admission. Then the second step is to have an online interview. Once you have, for example, English language certificate, it will not be important to have such interview exam. But for those who are coming from non-native speaker countries, because some countries they have English as a first language, for example some African countries and some European countries as well, they have English language as as the language of dealing of the people in the country. So for those, it will not be so important to have, the interview online exams. But for those who are coming from non-native speakers countries, especially from Arabian countries, who already, if the candidates already got his diploma from normal schools, I mean not a language school, so they will go under such interview. The interview will be Skype interview with the university staff or administration staff. And because, as I said, we are dealing officially with universities, so they give us authority to run such interview and to send for them the link, and to the Ministry of Education the link of the interview. After passing such interview, you will be able to start your real admission steps. I mean, we have to start your application and pay for your application fees, and then it will take like 10 to 15 days to finish everything, then to get the invitation of studying. Because in Georgia, as a country, some countries already, citizenship of some countries, they can come to Georgia without visa. But upon coming as a student, you should, later on get your residency. So it will be better to, get a visa, especially from some Arabian countries. So the visa also, for example, also I will explain later on, because this is our first video. I'm just giving you a brief or just general information. The visa or the Georgian embassy or the embassy of Georgia to issue the visa, it will take like from 15 days to 30 days to get the visa to Georgia. And upon your coming to Georgia, after finishing your admission in the university, you will get a letter from the university indicates that you already officially registered in the university. You already paid your tuition fees of the course. Then you will be able to get an official letter from the university, which will be used to make your registration. And the registration, for the first time, it will be for 1 year. Then you can take it for 3 or 4 years later on. After after getting all the necessary documents. I mean, you should have a bank account in Georgia. You should have insurance in Georgia, and the bank account is not a big deal. We are going to help you very well, just to put some money upon your arrival in the bank. Then you will get it back, no problem, and you will get a bank account document indicates that you have a bank account in Georgia. With such a document, you will be able to get your residency in Georgia. Also, we are going to help you. We are going to help you a lot during the admission process in Georgia, as we have our own base in Tbilisi as the capital of the country. We also have highly qualified Georgian staff that are going to help you. We have some of them. They are good enough in English. Even we have in our staff very good Arabic speaker. Also coordinator who are going to coordinate well with the Arabian candidates. We have a Georgian coordinator in our office, in our company. She is a Georgian girl, but she speaks very good Arabic language, as she graduated from, Faculty of Languages in Georgia, and she completed her study in some other universities in Arabian countries. So for communication, it will not be a big deal for us to deal with all of you upon your coming to Georgia. Mainly, as we said, our target or our aim is not to, bring students in Georgia and leave them like that. No, our main target is to deal academically with our candidates. I mean that we will be in contact from the moment of selection of the university till your graduation. And this is our promises to all our candidates. I mean, and we will be in touch with you all of the time regarding your academic situation, regarding, your life, even personal life in Georgia. As I said, we have Georgian staff who will be 24 hours on call with you. So for such situation, no any worry to be. You will have all the, all the facilities, and we will work very close with you during the duration of your studying. And also later on, I will talk in details about the academic credits, because in each course, for example, general medicine, we should have like from 360 to 380 credits to get your diploma, which it will be like 6 years of studying. For dentistry, it will be 5 years of studying in Georgia, and also pharmacy, nursing. I'm gonna explain in details all this, all this information for you. But the main important thing is to know that the universities that we are dealing with are highly accredited, this number one, and also most of them already listed in MCI for Indian candidates, Medical Council of India, and be sure that we are dealing with most of those, universities in the list. Also, whatever the selection is, you can, you have in the list, you have governmental universities, you have private universities. Upon, as I said, upon the tuition fees, you have to think about. Upon, the accreditation, also to have to think about. Again, I want to remind you that you can study medicine in Georgia starting with $4,000 a year, which is very low compared with some other universities in some other countries. And not because of the tuition fees is very low, the university is not good. No, one of the good universities in Georgia already got the international accreditation, and we are gonna deal with them. The general medicine course in such university, you can start with $4,000 a year. So I mean, whenever we are deliver the information, we want to deliver the most correct information, not to be deceived by some other ideas. I'm sorry. So once we are talking with you, we are talking in a very real situation with very real prices of the universities, which cannot be changed. I mean, I cannot tell you something now in the video, and when you will come to Georgia, you will find some other story which will be bad for our name. So once I'm telling you the tuition fees now, this is the real or the fixed prices. So we already contracted this year with one of a good university that you can study general medicine with $4,000, which the location of this university also in a very safe city, very close to Turkey as a country, and it is a very good place for tourism. Later on, I will tell you the name of the university, and I will share with you all the details. I hope that you can go through our also our web page, Georgia to Study. You will find some good videos regarding our previous workshops in some countries, especially especially in India, especially in Ghana, in Nigeria. Also, you will find some information about the fees of the universities, and also some videos regarding or about talking about Georgia as a good place to stay. And later on, I promise all of you that from today we will start to every day I will announce at what time we will be online, with enough time before, just to be ready to join us to know more about Georgia. We still have time, as most of you nowadays preparing for the high school exams. Wishing for you all the best, for all our Arabian students, for all our Asian students and our African students, as most of the countries already, dealing with coronavirus situation. So most of the schools already locked down and stopped totally till the final exams, which will be in 1 month or 1.5 months. So wishing for you all the best, and promise that we will be from time to time with you, support you, just to deliver information. Is not, our aim is not from such videos is not to force you to come with us to study or to guide you to study. No, just to deliver the information in the most corrected way, and they will leave you for you the choice which university you are gonna join, which consultant that you are gonna deal with. But for us, as I told you, whenever we are working very officially with our students. It means that we have already registered our company in many different countries. We register our company. First, we have 2 main bases for our company: in Georgia, in Tbilisi, and in Ukraine, in Lviv city. We have also branch in Egypt, we have branch in Nigeria, we have branch in Tanzania, we have branch in South Africa, in Cape Town. So once you are dealing, we don't like to deal, randomly with our candidates. We are dealing very officially through the embassies in each country, just to be in safe and to make your parents in safe, because, as I said, the decision of moving abroad is not so easy for the parents, and they should be very sure about your safety, about your life away from them, which will be for some time, more than, you will stay in such a country more than that you are going to stay with your family during your studying time. So wishing you all the best, and I hope that we will meet soon again, and I'm gonna prepare for you from time to time complete information. We still have time. I don't like to give you all information in one time, so you will be disturbed and you will be confused. So let us talk friendly like that from time to time to deliver for you the information, and I am accepting or waiting for any question to share with you the information. If you have any question, so you just do not be hesitate or feel freely to contact us through our web page, our Georgia to Study, or to send us an email, and be sure that we will respond and we will answer you as soon as possible, as we are gonna help and to assist all of you in selection the good way of completing your study. Wishing you all the best, and till we will meet again in our upcoming video. Take care and see you again. Thank you so much. Before leaving, if any one of you have a question, I am ready to answer. Just to give you a chance to ask if you want to get more information. But from my side, be sure that every time I will give you information, and as I said, I don't like to give you the full information in one time. It will be more headache for you. So we still have time to meet again and again and again, and be sure that you will get the full information about everything that you are thinking about. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best, and hope to see you again very soon. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.